Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I want to talk about my plan for gymnastics reintegration after quarantine, and I'm breaking this up into phases. My phase 1 goals are to get all of my skills back and to get into a 10 skill basic routine shape on all events. And this is going to be a gradual process, but I first need to get back to my ideal body weight because I want to reduce my risk of injury for these high impact skills that I'm going to be attempting. And then I also need to get my calluses back because I don't want to have rips that are going to set me back on my hand events. And I also need to get my air awareness back because that's going to help me not land on my head or incur any other injuries that I don't want at this time. And I expect this will take a couple months, but I'm going to pace myself, make sure I'm safe, and really listen to my body. Those are going to be the crucial points for me to come back safely for the Olympics. Now, I have a philosophy of always working backwards. And this is the schedule that I was doing right before quarantine hit, when I was in great routine shape. I was very detail oriented with every skill, and I had some great confidence. So my philosophy with training is to always prepare as closely to a competition as possible. Every week is structured the same as I would the week of a competition, the only changing variables being the level of difficulty and impact that my body felt capable of completing well. This requires great understanding of your own body as well as communication with your coach. So, going into a competition, I would have a staggered schedule where my Mondays were quite challenging, usually an 8 out of 10. And I called it pre-meet day 1, and I would cover all my skills in either sequences, halves, or routines. Tuesdays would be pre-meet day 2, and it would be lighter in terms of content and focused on recovery to save energy for the first day of competition on Wednesday. Now on competition days, you warm up everything, then you go back and you compete everything with the one touch. Back when I had 2-a-days, I would do my competition warm up in the morning, then come back in the afternoon and one touch and go. Having that gap in between practices was my way of mimicking that cool down you get while waiting to marching out, and listening to the national anthem. By the time you actually get to your one touch, you're cold, and I wanted to prepare for that every week. So on Thursdays, it's going to be a post-competition day. Your body is going to be hurting quite a bit because Wednesday should have been a 10 out of 10. And this is a day to get the blood flowing just a bit, maybe have some problem solving on a skill that bothered you mentally yesterday, but mainly stretch out and most importantly recover because Friday is going to be exactly like Wednesday, another 10 out of 10. And then on Saturday, following that hard day on Friday, you should do exactly what you did on Thursday and really focus on that recovery, maybe some problem solving, but just get the blood flowing because you're going to need to recover to start this all over next week. Now, I'm going to run through what my current plan is for every week with where I'm at now. Now, before diving in, you'll see that daily warm-up, comp warm-up, and Tramp stick game come up often at the beginning of most days. I'll make separate videos to explain those and link them in this video to check out separately. This video is strictly going to be about the structure of my plan. So to start, I'm limited to one practice in the mornings for 2.5 hours Monday through Saturday. I do get to do strength and conditioning for an hour in the afternoons on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And these days are heavy in leg strengthening. I also need to mention that my wrist still isn't 100%, so I've made a schedule to accommodate for that as well. I'm still trying to structure my week as closely to my schedule before quarantine as possible, but since I'm in zero shape, I will have to make a couple of changes. My 3 hardest days will still be staggered on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and on these days, I will go hard on my leg events, which are floor and vault, and my wrist events, pommel and P-bars. Now, I'll still touch rings and high bar just to prepare me for Tuesday, which will only be those 2 events, but I'm not in good enough shape, so this is why I'm sharing my Wednesday's load with Tuesday, so I can still focus on skill acquisition. The reason I stagger my leg and wrist events a day apart is to recover before my competition day on Wednesday, since my wrist isn't quite where I still want it to be, and my legs will definitely be wrecked from strength and conditioning that Monday afternoon. And I'll also do this on Friday and take Thursday real light to recover from the load on Monday through Wednesday. Now, for my skill acquisition on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll cover all 6 starting with high bar and rings on Tuesday and the other 4 on Wednesday. I limit myself to 1 to 6 turns per skill, usually bunching up my easy skills into my first turn or two, then focus on the new skills, which I'll never do more than 6 turns. I'll then end with endurance routines. This way you're not fatigued when you're learning new skills, and never in a competition would you do your routine before your warm-up anyways. Now, don't think of these as full difficulty routines. These are 10 skill placeholder routines. Most gymnasts and coaches would agree the best time to learn new skills are the first few weeks when season ends. I took this philosophy and expanded on it. Why make it last only a few weeks? It's because most people stop doing routines to focus on new skills. Well, that makes sense, but routines are what keep you fit and light. You feel great at the end of season because your endurance is good. If you take away that high level of fitness, then acquiring skills will be more challenging. Now, I would agree you shouldn't stay in routine shape all year. You'll burn out and get hurt. But what if there was a middle ground of doing low impact routines to keep your endurance that still allowed you to focus on new skill development? This way, you'd be a lot safer learning new skills, and getting back into shape for next season wouldn't be as big of a step as it might otherwise be. And here's how I broke this down to make this possible for myself. Now, these are the skills that I need to get back, broken down into level 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 skills are your safest skills. Low impact, low risk, and not requiring high mental focus. These skills are usually the last skills in your routine that you can do when you're tired, so when the time comes, you can plug them into your basic placeholder routines first. Level 2 skills are the ones that require more mental focus, but don't risk a lot of injuries or cause you to fall off an event. These generally are the skills in the middle of your routine. Now, the level 3 skills are risky, dangerous skills that require you to be in great physical shape and mental control, because doing them wrong could lead to injury. If you're not feeling 100% that day, it's better to stay away from them and replace them with a timer, a drill, or another placeholder skill. The goal is to acquire skills on Tuesday and Wednesday, starting with level 1, then moving all the way up to level 3, and trying to plug them into your basic routine. You'll then warm up all the skills you acquired on Tuesday and Wednesday and try a 1-on-6 with those skills plugged in. All the routines you successfully hit will earn you the right to try more skills the following Tuesday and Wednesday. You'll keep progressing every week until you're doing full difficulty routines safely. But the most important part is to listen to your body. You don't need to be in routine shape until December or January, so pace yourself, and you don't be discouraged if you're not advancing every week. The important part is just you piecing together skills in a way that will keep you from doing too much right out the gate, while also building muscle memory for the construction of your routine. You'll see in the coming weeks, I'm going to be doing the easiest possible placeholder routines for quite some time. Thanks again for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this in-depth look into what my weekly plan is going to be for phase 1. And it's going to be a crazy ride, but I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm excited to get this out there and show you guys how this actually looks like in the gymnastics world.